Hello everyone, it's Kingdom Silver here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing a topic that many may not have thought of. When do you know you have too much precious metals, whether that be silver or gold? Without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Let's dive right in. And I bet you I can guess what you are thinking at this moment. You're like, there's no such thing as having too much precious metals, whether that be silver or gold. There's no way. But I beg to differ. And I'm going to give you three different things that I think are indicators that you may actually have too much precious metals. And I'm going to clarify this when I'm saying it's physical, right? Physical gold and silver, like you can see on the screen here. And the first way that I think that you can tell is that you run out of money for your basic monthly expenses. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, if you are so into precious metals and you're so into buying them on a consistent basis that you find yourself, hey, that credit card bill is coming in or my house payment's coming in and I'm a little cash poor at the moment, I think that's too much. I think you're buying too much and have too much of the precious metals. Now, does that mean that I am a fan of cash, of fiat currency in any form? Absolutely not, right? I think, and again, this is my own personal opinion, but I think a day is coming where we are going to be more into the precious metals when it comes into our day-to-day currency. But until that day comes, we need cash. You need whatever currency you're watching, whatever country you're watching this video from, whether it's Canadian dollars or pounds or euros or US dollars, right? You're still going to need that for daily life because we don't have the adoption of precious metals yet at the level that we would like to see. So it's just much easier to have some of that money in cash. Now, we can have agreements or disagreements on how much of that is, but again, if you can't pay your basic monthly expenses right now in cash, I think that's a problem. And I might even argue that not being able to have kind of an emergency fund, let's say, an AC unit goes out or you have a car expense, right? A couple of $1,000s here or there. Now, as we know, the ACs are much more than that, right? But if you don't even have that amount of cash or that amount of liquid investments to pay for it, I think there could be an issue there. The second thing that I did want to discuss is that you have so many physical, right, precious metals in gold or silver that you're concerned about safety and being able to protect your investments. And this could be, maybe it's the part of the world that you live in, your city, maybe your neighborhood, and you're like, hey, I'm just a little concerned that I have so much precious metals right now that I really don't know if they're safe or secure. I'd watch out for that. And a bonus to this would be as well that if you're not sure how you could transport them in the case of an emergency. Now, I think for most of us, right, if you're stacking, precious metals are heavy, right? So especially for those, I think of, the big silver channels and gold channels that are out there that have been doing this for decades, or maybe not even that long, but have been stacking for a very long time, right? It would be hard to move your whole stack in one day. But at least if you don't have a plan for that, right? If you don't have a plan for protecting them, and there's a lot of different ways to protect your precious metals and hiding them or storing them in places. And again, that's not the point of this video, but if you don't have a plan for that, then maybe you need to say, hey, let's take a pause here on buying more precious metals before I figure that out. And the last indication that you may have too much precious metals, too much gold, too much silver, is the fact that it's the only thing that you have investments in. Now, let me be clear in that I think that there are some drawbacks, right, to what a lot of people say, the general consensus and knowledge in the industry of people saying you should be really well diverse in investing, right? Again, this channel, we're not into investment advice here. I'm not a personal financial advisor. You need to be doing your own research and making the decision that's best for you and your family. Having said that, from hanging around some really smart people, I've gotten the opportunity to hang out with some people that are day traders, that are investors, people that have done investments. I'm actually interacting with people at my workplace that have traded commodities on the stock floor, right? there is cyclical or seasons, if you will, in investing, in which you're going to see certain industries go up and then you're going to see them go down. I think commercial real estate is one of those, right? Years back, it was the rage. And now, with a world where we do more hybrid work, we do remote work from home, commercial real estate is not worth what it used to be. So it's important to know those environments. And the smartest investors are the ones that can see those trends, and then they buy low and they sell high and rotate into a different industry. The housing market is a great example here. We're seeing a lot of highs. Again, not investment advice, but do we see a correction in the housing market? I think we may be starting to see that. So with all of that being said, right, it's still important to have some diversification, right? Even though I disagree with the general, investment knowledge or investment advice that is given, I still think you need to have some diversification. And so while I am invested, and as you can see it on the screen here, I have physical precious metals, I have physical silver, I have physical gold, I also have digital investments in that I have some gold and silver at Kinesis. I have some in a company called I Trust Capital. I also have an IRA that I have mining stocks in. I follow some of the silver mining ETFs that have been pretty profitable, some individual mining stocks. But not only that, I'm not only just invested in precious metals. I am heavily invested in precious metals, but there's other investments. I've got a 401k. I've got individual stocks that I'm invested in, right? There's other areas that I am putting my money, not just the precious metals. So again, if you're a new person and you're just investing, would I recommend gold and silver right now compared to, let's say, the S&P 500? I probably would. Again, not investment advice, just what I'm doing. But having said that, if you're putting all your eggs into the silver and gold basket, every single one, 100% of your investable money, I don't think that's the best way to go. As we know, silver and gold, well, I do not always agree with this, that it's just the preservation of your wealth. I think there is some investment in some ways that you can be profitable on gold and silver, especially in getting into the mining stocks. Again, not investment advice, just my own thoughts on it. Having said all that, I do think you have to be diverse. I think you can't just focus on one thing. So with that, we're going to end the video today. And in the comments, I'd love to hear what you think about this. Do you think that there's other reasons or other signs that you could be too invested in precious metals? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you're enjoying this content, I would really appreciate a like on the video. It helps the algorithm out. It helps get the information out about gold and silver. And if you would feel so inclined, I'd love a subscribe as well. If you're enjoying this content, there's more where that came from. Without further ado, be blessed, be a blessing to others. We'll see you later.